Coming up on Bake Angel today, I'm going to show you how to make some allergy-friendly Rice Krispie treats. So for this, we're going to be using 4 ingredients today: some Rice Krispie cereal, plant-based butter, some dairy-free sprinkles, and a pack of mini marshmallows. Now, the first thing you want to do before you start making your Rice Krispie treats is actually prepare the pan or the dish that you're going to be making them in. So for this, I have a 9 by 13 baking dish. I've just sprayed it with some spray oil, and now I've just added some wax paper to it. Now, I picked up wax paper by mistake. You could use parchment paper instead. It's going to have the same effect. So Rice Krispie treats are really easy to make, and you may not know this if you're not a dairy intolerant person, but there is actually milk ingredients in Rice Krispie treats. So anyone that is vegan or can't have dairy can't actually eat the ones that you can buy from the store, and it is so easy to make your own. As I said, you just need 4 ingredients for this. The sprinkles are optional, of course, so they don't normally have them, but I thought it would be nice to actually pop some sprinkles in them and just jazz them up with a bit of colour for the summer. You're going to start off by melting some butter, and I'm using a plant-based butter here in a large saucepan, and I added 90 grams, which is about 6.5 tablespoons. And once that's melted, you're going to go ahead and add about 3/4 of the bag of the mini marshmallows. Now, the bag size that I had was 400 grams. If yours is slightly more, use extra. It really doesn't matter. You honestly can't have too many marshmallows when you're making Rice Krispie treats. So with those 3/4 of marshmallows added, you're just going to keep them heating up over a medium heat in the large saucepan. And what they're actually going to do is start to melt, as you can see here. Now, I did speed this up, but I decided not to cut any of it out because I wanted you to see the whole process of making the Rice Krispie treats and actually how quickly the whole thing comes together as well. Stirring it with a wooden spoon is a great idea. 1, because the heat won't transfer, and 2, because it's not really going to stick to it. If you don't have a wooden spoon though, you could use a silicone spatula instead. Maybe just give it a quick spray with some spray oil though, just to stop it from sticking to it. Okay, so that is the perfect consistency. Looks amazing. Now we're going to add in our Rice Krispie cereal. I'm using about 6 US cups, which is around 170 grams. And then I'm also adding in 50 grams of sprinkles, which is about 4 tablespoons, and the rest of my marshmallows. Now you'll notice here that I'm not really going crazy when I'm adding in the sprinkles and the marshmallows, because we want to make sure that the color doesn't bleed and also that those last few marshmallows retain their size, so you get extra chunks of marshmallow in the Rice Krispie treats. Once that is combined, the next job is to add it to our prepared baking pan. And of course, we're not baking these at all. This is a no-bake treat, which is perfect on a hot day if your kids want something nice to eat and you don't want to put your oven on. Now, this bit, I'll tell you, is quite messy. As you can see here, the mix is really gooey, really sticky. So what I find useful is actually to try and spread it out with your wooden spoon or your sprayed spatula. Clean off the rest of it then with a knife. You can see all that stringiness here. And then I sprayed a little bit of my wax paper and I used that to tap down the Rice Krispie treats. You want to try and get them nice and even in the pan so that when you cut them, your slices will be the same depth as well. You can see though, it was quite warm when I was doing this and it really did want to stick to that paper. But let's just give it a final tap down, and that's as simple as it is. These are so quick and easy to make, and it really didn't cost a lot to buy the ingredients either. It's actually much cheaper than buying Rice Krispie treats in the store. Then you want to let that firm up for a while. Now, it took about 30 minutes in my kitchen. It might take slightly longer if it's warmer where you are. Don't pop it in the fridge though. This doesn't need to be chilled to set. It will actually firm up on its own in about 30 minutes. And then once it has firmed up, you can remove it from the pan and then carefully peel back that paper. Now you can see here again, it's really sticky still. It wanted to stick to the slab of Rice Krispie treats. So you can actually use a knife to kind of tease that off of the paper, as you can see me doing here, just to break off those bits of marshmallow that are being a little stubborn for us. And then what I tend to do is just cut the pieces up as we need them. I find that this actually stays a lot nicer and a lot gooier if you don't cut it all up at the same time. Although the kids probably will eat all of this today, so I may well just end up cutting it all today. Now let's talk about storage before we finish this video. So the Rice Krispie treats, because they are so sweet, will last for a few weeks if you store them properly. What I recommend you do is actually just wrap them back in the wax paper or parchment paper to keep the sides from drying out, and then you can pop it in an airtight container as well. Again, it doesn't need to be refrigerated. If you do find, however, that the Rice Krispie treats have started to firm up a little bit more than you would like, you can pop them in the microwave for about 5 seconds at a time just to heat that up a little bit. Be careful though, because obviously if you're heating marshmallow, it can get very hot very quickly, but it's a nice way to soften them if you really want to have that gooey Rice Krispie treat once it's been sat on the counter for a while. So there we go, my really easy allergen friendly Rice Krispie treats. I hope you've really enjoyed watching this video. Let me know in the comments below if you're a fan of this kind of treat, and of course if you're going to have a go at making them as well. And I will see you on my next video. Thanks for watching.